everyone, welcome to the Fantasy Fitnessing Show. I'm here, Dave, and with me is Katharine. We're here to talk about our kickoff to the 2021 game season, and specifically our Open Madness bracket style game. So just give you a quick highlight of what we've done. We've made 4 divisions, 16 athletes each. We have US men, US women, international men, international women. And we got a 4-round bracket style elimination to see who is our Open Madness champion. So for kind of the purposes of this podcast and the other preview shows we're going to do, we'll be running through each of the divisions. And today we're going to be looking at our US men's division. So going through, this is a free fantasy game on fantasyfitnessing.com. I invite you to sign up, invite your friends, and have some extra fun during the Open. So diving in, our week 1 matchup, we got Noah Olsen, who's our number 1 seed on the US side, versus Will Moar, who's our number 16 seed. What was your thoughts when picking this one?
Okay, for Noah Olsen versus Will Moar, Olsen's just been a major fixture in the games, in the Open, the last number of years. With Matt Fraser stepping down, felt someone had to go into that number 1 seed, and thought Noah was the guy. Will Morad's now with Proven and kind of coming back, so I'm super excited to see what he does this season, and maybe he can give Noah a little run for his money.
Yeah, no, I had Noah Olsen as well. I chose him to week 1. It wouldn't surprise me if Will Morad here had a really strong Open showing. I based that, was working with Proven. And just last year, I think he tested a couple of the games workouts, and I think it was Friendly Fran, where his time was essentially second in the world behind Fraser. So, a little bit motivation after missing the games last year. Could definitely see him moving into, or having a strong Open placement this year. Our next brackets has number 8 seed Cole Sager versus number 9 Rich Froning. I didn't really have a lot to base this one on. I took Froning overall just because I think it's Rich Froning. I think he might be competing with a little bit extra motivation this year, just with all the controversy around how they selected the new Mayhem team at the end of the year, which seemed to kind of irk him. I think it was on the Talking Elite Fitness show, but purely based on that, Rich Froning's still Rich Froning.
He will always still be Rich Froning. This one's kind of a bit closer in my books, but Rich Froning has beat Cole Sager 15 to 6 times in the last 4 years of Open workouts, and Rich Froning's been top 20 the last 4 years. Again, he's still Rich Froning, so I think he's a solid pick.
All right, so I think we both agree on that one as well. So moving on to the next head-to-head matchup, we got 5 seed Travis Mayer versus 12 seed Sean Sweeney. From my perspective, I took Travis Mayer. I think I actually at this point have him winning my US men's division. And I think he's going to have a strong year. He had I think it was a really strong performance at Wodapalooza last year. And just, bringing things through. But I guess, on the other hand, Sean Sweeney, he released something yesterday, which was March 2nd. Just, he's gunning for the quarterfinals and looking to peak his performance there. So, he's another person that could, come on strong. Looks like he has his eyes set on a games position as well this year.
Yeah, this one is kind of fun. I feel like Sean Sweeney's been in the game for a long time, and just sort of in there throwing things in the mix. Travis Mayer, I think, is kind of coming into his own. He's training with Training Think Tank. And yeah, he was 14th the last 2 years in the Open. He's got Sweeney head-to-head 14-7 in Open workouts the last 4 years. I like watching Mayer. I think he'll take this head-to-head, but you never know. Sean Sweeney's always in the mix.
Yeah, so Sean Sweeney did finish 29th in the Open last year, so another strong finish for him. What was Travis Williams?
Not Travis Williams, Travis Mayer.
Travis Mayer.
Mayer was 14th last year.
14th, okay. So both of them had top 30 games finishes last year, which, should be a tight matchup.
For sure.
Then moving on, so kind of our head-to-head demo team matchup. Number 4 seed Chandler Smith versus number 13 Saxon Panchik. When I was looking at this one, head-to-head matchup, I think, both of them could have very strong years. I think Chandler Smith is really taking his first year being a full-time competitor. Not sure if he moved up to Boston, but he's certainly training with the comp train team in Ben Bergeron. And then Saxon Panchik, I think he's only 25, 26, so kind of in that Sam Quant type of range from an age standpoint that could be coming into his own. So it could go either way, and I think they had a lot of fun at demo camp last year. For my pick, I chose Chandler Smith purely looking at their open performances last year. Week 1 is kind of a super accessible workout, which could be full send, and Chandler, I think he was top 10 last year in event 1, so I think that kind of was my nod this year.
Yeah, Saxon versus Chandler is actually kind of super fun. I'm excited to see just how it plays out because they're both sort of young. They've been at the games. Neither of them have really broken the top 20 in an open finish. But they're both still building and competing head to head. They're 8-8, so who knows who's going to take it. I think my pick on it is also Chandler. I think the changing to doing full-time athlete, no army duties, is going to be a game changer for him. Will it have been long enough before the Open? Who knows, but I think it'll be a really cool season for him. And yeah, so he's my pick over Saxon.
All right, so now we're kind of moving down to the bottom half of the back bracket. I think one of last year's breakouts, number 3 seed Justin Medeiros versus kind of the old guard, number 14 Scott Panchik. This one should be again an interesting matchup. For me, I think Scott Panchik's coming back this year, coming back into the individual competition just with the new affiliate cup rules. I think he's going to come in hungry with another shot at the podium.
Oh, 100%. I think he's going to be shooting for the podium for sure. It's tough because Justin Medeiros his potential is huge, but I think Panchik, again, I think Scott Panchik will take this matchup, but Justin Medeiros is definitely still one to watch. Head to head, the last couple years, it's Panchik over Medeiros 6-4. But then, like the previous couple years, Scott Panchik swept because Medeiros wasn't really in the competitive field at that point. This could be kind of cool to compare, like some of the older guys versus the younger guys, and see, does age matter? It's totally like an age matchup.
Yeah, no, I think that will be one of the interesting storylines throughout the year now that CrossFit's kind of reached that mature stage in a sport. You don't have, people coming in just working harder and better training regimens. Everybody has their nutrition dialed in and has their performance. So now we're kind of reaching that age. We'll see, how long can an elite athlete go on the men's side. You see Sam Briggs, who's, 37, 38, still performing in the top 30 in the world. But, shifting that to the men's side, can you be 31 and still win the games, or do you kind of start, sliding downhill at that point? So it'll be interesting to see, just as we have a lot of those athletes who've been around, the Scott Panchiks, the Patrick Vellners, the Brent Fikowskis, are they still able to perform at that top level, or we see the younger kids coming in?
The younger kids.
The kids, yeah. So I guess I had Scott Panchik kind of with the upset in that one. I don't know who you had for your bracket.
Yeah, I picked Panchik too. I'm excited to watch Medeiros, kind of like want Medeiros to win it, but I think Panchik's an old pro, man.
Yeah, and I guess we are just talking the week 1 games events, or open events. So, any of these people who might not win the first week, but may end up being the open champion. So, but
Yeah,
That's kind of the fun of the game. All right, moving on to our next matchup. Number 6 Tim Paulson, 11 versus number 11 Brandon Luckett. I guess like these are two guys who again don't get a lot of the publicity that a lot of the other names that we get, but both of them performed really quite well last year. What is it? Tim Paulson was 15th in the Open last year, and Brandon Luckett was 13th. So both of them had quite strong performances. I think from my standpoint, it really was just came down to the strength of last year. I think Paulson had a podium finish in Filthy 150 and was top 15 in the online portion of the game. So that's kind of nodded more towards him in taking this first round matchup.
Yeah, these two are kind of interesting. Like Paulson's been at the games 3 times. Luckett was at the games in 2018, or was he 2022? Oh, yeah, they were both in 2020 as well. But yeah, they're kind of. I think Luckett's probably going to take this one. I think he's sort of slowly just been growing, like on the upward trajectory. Tim Paulson was 9th in the Open in 2018, then 31st, then 15th, so all still super strong. But I kind of think Luckett's more on the upswing of his career because he's just a bit newer. Got to pick one of them, guys.
Yeah. All right, so we finally have a disagreement there. Yeah. So moving on a bit in the next round. This again will be an interesting matchup. Number 7, Jacob Hepner. Number 10, Ben Smith, competing head to head. I think again I chose Hepner on this one. I think he had a pretty strong pretty strong season last year. When I think it was his first one that he had fully dedicated to training. So had top 10s at both Rogue and Pandaland. It was 12th at the first round of the games and was 18th in the Open last year. So, having him kind of come in, Ben Smith has always been a credible athlete and had a credible career. I think it was a knee injury that he was coming off of. So, I'd love to see him bounce back. But I guess in terms of looking at this first round matchup, I could see Hepner coming out hungry and looking to break back into the top 10 of the games this year.
We have another disagreement.
All right.
I think Ben Smith is still hungry, and the fact that Fraser stepped out of the game, I think, opens it up again. It's interesting, like the last 4 years of Open matchups, Hepner's actually won 7-3 against Ben Smith, which I was kind of a bit surprised, but I know Ben's been injured and stuff the last few years, just making his way back. But yeah, going old guy on this one too.
Old guy. All right. It'll be exciting to see. And then our final matchup we got here, number 2 Sam Quant versus number 15 Alex Smith. I'm excited to see Sam Quant this year. Based off of his performance last year, I could potentially see him being the heir apparent to Matt Fraser. One of the big things that surprised me is how long Sam Quant has been around for. I think his first games was in 2016, and has always even been, it's been top 20 of the games every year since 2016. So, it's kind of the first time he really blasted onto the scene, making the finals last year, and everybody was able to watch him. But, he's been, top 20 in the Open the last 3 years as well. So, Sam Quant, super exciting. And then I think Alex Smith is also another name to watch this year, because I think he joined the Proven group. Is that right?
Yeah, he's joined Proven, but he's been at the games the last number of years in a team capacity. So he's been competitive for sure and in the elite field, but just not in the individual side of things.
Yeah. For me, I chose Quant just due to the strength last year, but just looking at it, Alex Smith, I think this is his top. He's only been in the Open 4 times or since 2017. So, but only his top Open finish was last year at the 64th. So, hopefully maybe working under Shane Orr there in the proven group could push him to the next level, which would be exciting to see.
Yeah, this was tough. I think I'm going to take Quant on this because, yeah, he's just super consistent in terms of open finishes, in terms of being top 20 the last 4 years. I think he's the only guy on this entire list of men that has been top 20 for the last 4 years of the Open, so you can't pick against that. But I think Alex Smith is going to be having a big season this year too. I think with Proven, that whole crew is definitely a group to watch. But I'm going to go with Quant. He's just really consistent.
Yeah, I know. I think that's probably why we haven't heard from him, just because he is so consistent year after year without... he doesn't have like the big flashy wins that he just goes full send on, but he also doesn't kind of crash and burn. Even looking at his games history, his first event win last year was in the final, and he's been in the game since 2016. So that's a lot of events to go through before you get your top 10. So it's probably why it hasn't been, one of those big names, but he is now. So
Yes.
It'll be an exciting season to watch from him.
Yeah, I think Quant will be fun.
Yeah. So that brings us through our first round brackets here for the Open Madness Challenge on fantasyfitnessing.com. Again, it's free to sign up. We got a global leaderboard that you can do. When you can sign up, you can also enter your affiliate name if you have an affiliate, and you'll have an affiliate leaderboard, so you can compete against all your friends at the box at the same time you're doing the open workouts, which is a fun little matchup you can do there. And then something else super exciting that we worked on, we were able to team up with the group from Get With The Programming, so Chase Ingram and Bill Grundler, as well as the Talking Elite Fitness group, Sean Woodland and Tommy Marquez, as they're doing a mega episode with their sponsor Bubs to give away a VIP package or a VIP Bubs package as they go through and determine their greatest CrossFit Games event all time. So they also have a free bracket that you can enter and choose your favorite games event. And then the evening of, I think, March 8th on the Get With The Programming YouTube channel, they'll be running through and discussing what their favorite games are as well. So another super fun game you can play on Fantasy Fitnessing.
Just get your brackets in, talk to your buddies about it, whether you're in the gym or not in the gym right now with them. But it's a way to just follow the Open a bit more closely.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for joining us today. You can also follow us on Instagram at Fantasy Fitnessing, and look forward to talking with you soon. All right. Thank you.